This is Chris Lee of Southeastern 14, presented by Bearded Iris, here to go over two baseball games in the SEC from Thursday night, April the 27th. Arkansas beat Texas A&M 7-5. Tennessee beat Mississippi State 8-7. We'll talk about both those, starting with Arkansas. The Razorbacks really needed to get a win after a bad last weekend and a bad midweek performance at Missouri State. The Hogs, as we have discussed, have been hurting as much as any team in this league physically, and that they've gotten worse last night. We'll get to that in a minute. But first of all, the highlights for Arkansas, which has a 5-0 lead. A&M comes back and ties that with 5 runs. Jace Bohorfen hits a 2-run home run in the 8th inning to provide the winning margin. Hagen Smith, probably the star of the game in regards to the fact that he went 4 innings to finish the game, didn't give up a run, and only gave up, I believe, 4 base runners. The Hogs now improved to 12-7 in the SEC, and as I have said, that was a team that I thought was going to be a top 8 national seed coming into the series. Certainly beating A&M will reinforce that perception. But for the Hogs, it was that home run. It was also Peyton Stovall hit a grand slam to spark a 5-run second inning. Hunter Holland goes 4 innings and gives up 4 runs. Dylan Carter comes in between, and he's been one of their bridge guys. He can give you 2, 3, 4 innings. Well, last night he gave only 1 inning to Arkansas, and that's a concern because I'm hearing some injury concerns on that. I don't know what's public yet this morning, but in any case, Arkansas, the last thing it needs is another pitching injury. But kudos to the Hogs. Being 12-7 at this point in the SEC with those injuries, that is incredible. John Bolton, their shortstop, who gives them a little offense, even got a hit and walked 3 times last night. So it was sort of a multifaceted effort offensively for Arkansas. Bohorfen's home run, part of his 3 hits. And again, he had the big one late. For A&M, the story kind of the same. The offense keeps clicking along. Hunter Haas hit another home run. Jordan Thompson hit another home run. A&M pounded out 10 hits, walked 4 times, but it's been the pitching. Troy Wansing, again, was not very good. His ERA 6.69 after giving up 5 earned runs in 3 innings. The bullpen was a little better. Carson Lambert gave them an inning and 2/3 scoreless, but at the end, giving Arkansas 5 runs in 3 innings was a big challenge for the bullpen. You're not going to probably hold that lineup down for 6 more innings at home, and that's kind of what happened. A&M drops to 9-10, now on a standings tie with Tennessee overall. That's relevant for the SEC tournament. I've got that scrolling across the bottom. Of course, it's way too premature for that to matter and start invoking tiebreakers because a lot's going to change. But if if A&M and Tennessee did wind up tied, that tiebreaker would go to Tennessee by virtue of winning that series head-to-head in Knoxville back a few weeks ago. Okay, before we get to the Vols, a quick shout-out to our sponsor, Bearded Iris Brewing. It is Nashville's home for a beer that is unapologetically itself, memorably composed and fun to drink. Bearded Iris offers a wide variety of hop-focused offerings like IPAs and DIPAs, as well as selected fruit sours, stouts, and a new hard seltzer. If you are in the West Nashville area, at Southeastern 14, or their business at Southeastern 14, Okay, as for the Vols, it seems like Tennessee makes everything interesting of late. That sounds like a script from last year. And you're seeing more of the last year's Vols, not with just the winning, but with the antics. And you got some of that last night after Griffin. Merritt hits a home run to walk that one off Casey Hunt, one of State's veteran pitchers. The story for the Vols, Andrew Lindsey was really good. They get up 7-1 in that game. And you think with that bullpen, they would be cruising. But Kirby Connell gives up a run. And gives up some of Lindsey's base runners, I believe. Let me look at this to make sure that's right. He sure did. Aaron Combs was not very good in 2/3 of an inning, and then Chase Burns comes in and is just good enough to slam the door. Now, Burns is an interesting option to pitching at State because that's a team that puts the ball in play. State, I think, strikes out less than anybody in the league or close to it. That's been the case for a couple of years. And Burns has given up some home runs, which, as you guys know, that can happen to you at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. But anyway, Tennessee holds on from blowing a lead. Burns gives him 2 1/3 scoreless innings, strikes out 4, and then Merritt walks that off in the 9th inning after State had just tied it the inning before. For State, again, it seems like we say this every game. It seems like there's 3 or 4 home runs. Those come from Colton Ledbetter, who's had a terrific season. Hunter Hines, Slade Alford, each hit home runs. For State, Cade Smith started, goes 4, gives up 4. I think State was hoping for a little bit more from him. It took him 87 pitches to throw 4 innings. The bullpen comes in. Tyson Harden was not good. Tyler Davis was good. I guess if you're looking for something positive for State, there was that. And then Hunt blows it in the 9th. State is now 6-13 in the SEC. Is really going to need at least one in this series to maintain some hope of an NCAA tournament bid. I guess you could do that by getting to Hoover. But State is in a little bit of a dogfight for that one, too, with Auburn and Georgia and some of those teams near the bottom of the standings. So encouraging comeback for the Bulldogs, but just couldn't hold on. And Tennessee seems like that team has hit a bunch of late inning home runs to win games late. And Griffin Merritt does again for the Vols. Okay, we will have recaps of Friday night's game probably coming on Saturday morning. Best way to get those, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. That gets us noticed. I'm Chris Lee of Southeastern 14, presented by Bearded Iris. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.